Let me describe something that might sound familiar. You find Blender. You get genuinely excited. You watch some videos, you start learning, and for the first week or two, it actually feels good. You're making progress. You're figuring things out. The momentum is real. And then somewhere around week 3 or 4, maybe later, maybe sooner, something shifts. You open Blender and just don't feel it. You sit there for 10 minutes, close the laptop, tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes, I should probably get back to that. And then one day you realize you haven't touched it in a month. And the version of you that was genuinely excited about this feels like a different person. Sound familiar? Here's what I want you to know. That's not a you problem. That's a structure problem. And structure is something you can actually fix. This video is about long-term motivation, specifically for learning Blender and 3D. Not the motivational speech version of that. Not believe in yourself. Keep going, you got this. That stuff feels good for about 48 hours and then evaporates. I'm talking about the actual mechanics of staying consistent over months and years. The specific habits, mindset shifts, and structural changes that keep working even on the days you don't feel like it. I'm going to tell you why motivation itself is the wrong thing to rely on and what to replace it with. I'm going to break down the 3 stages of a learning curve that most people hit, why each one has a different dropout risk, and how to survive all 3. And I'm going to give you some concrete things you can do this week that will change how sustainable your Blender practice actually is. No fluff. Let's get into it. Here's the first thing I need to say, and I know it sounds counterintuitive for a video about motivation. Motivation is not the goal. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. The problem with building your Blender practice around motivation is that motivation is highest when you need it least, right at the beginning, when everything is new and exciting. And it's lowest exactly when you need it most, when things get hard, when progress slows down, when you're stuck on something for the 3rd day in a row. So if your practice depends on feeling motivated, you've built something that will fail you at the worst possible moment. Every time, the artists who actually stick with this, the ones who go from curious beginner to someone with real skills and real work, they're not more motivated than you. They just built something that doesn't require motivation to keep running. And what that something is, I'll get to in a second. But first I need to talk about the 3 stages of the Blender learning curve, because each one is trying to kill your progress in a completely different way. Stage 1, the honeymoon. Weeks 1 through 4. Everything is new. Every tutorial feels like a revelation. You make your first render and send it to someone who doesn't do 3D, and they say, whoa, you made that. And it feels incredible. The dropout risk in stage 1 is low, but it's not 0. Some people get overwhelmed in the first week and never come back. The interface is genuinely intimidating. The shortcut list feels endless. If you hit a wall early and don't have a way through it, you can lose the thread before you ever really had it. The fix in stage 1 is simple. Lower the stakes. You're not trying to make something impressive yet. You're trying to stay in the seat. Ugly, broken, imperfect work that you actually made is worth more than perfect work you watch someone else make. Stage 2, the grind. Month 2 through month 4. This is where the majority of people quit. The honeymoon is over. The novelty has worn off. You're not a beginner anymore, but you're not good yet either, and that middle space is deeply uncomfortable. Your work looks worse than the tutorials you're watching. You know enough to see your own mistakes, but not enough to fix them quickly. Progress feels slower than it actually is because you've raised your own standards faster than your skills have caught up. This is the stage where people tell themselves a story. Maybe I'm just not naturally talented at this. Maybe it's not for me. That story is almost always wrong. What's actually happening is completely normal. It has a name. There's a concept in creative learning that describes exactly this experience, and once I name it, you'll never look at stage 2 the same way again. The filmmaker Ira Glass described it years ago, but it applies to every creative skill, including 3D. He called it the gap. Your taste, your ability to recognize good work, develops faster than your skill. Which means for a long period of time, you can clearly see that what you're making isn't as good as what you want to be making. And that gap feels like failure. But it's actually the opposite. The gap means your taste is working. It means you're calibrated correctly. The artists who can't see their own mistakes are the ones who stop improving. But here's what nobody tells you about the gap. There's a specific thing that closes it. And it's not more tutorials. It's not more hours watching other people work. It's something you're probably spending less time on than you think you should be. Finishing things closes the gap. Not starting things. Not following along. Not watching. Finishing. Every completed project, even a bad one, even a project you hate by the end, teaches you something that an unfinished project never can. Because unfinished projects let you stay comfortable. You can always tell yourself it would have been better if you'd kept going. A finished project gives you real feedback. It shows you exactly where you are. The artists who move through stage 2 fastest are almost always the ones who finish the most things. Not the ones who spend the most hours in Blender. Not the ones who watch the most tutorials. The ones who close the loop, render out, look at it honestly, and start the next one. So here's a practical structure that actually works for stage 2. 1 project per week. Minimum. Not a massive project. Something you can take from concept to render in 5 to 7 hours. A single prop. A small scene. A product mock-up. A character bust. The goal is not quality. The goal is completion. Get it done, render it, save it, move on. Do that for 8 weeks, and look at what week 8 looks like compared to week 1. That visual proof of your own progress is more motivating than any YouTube video. Build a visible archive of your work. Save every render, even the bad ones. Especially the bad ones. There's nothing more motivating than scrolling back through your own progression and seeing how far you've come. It makes the current struggle feel like part of a story instead of evidence that you're not good enough. Find one person, just one, to share your work with regularly. Not for validation, for accountability. There's something about knowing someone else is going to see your work that makes it easier to finish. It doesn't have to be a big audience. A friend, a Discord community, one person in your life who's interested. Social accountability is underrated as a consistency tool. Now, if you make it through stage 2, you hit stage 3. And stage 3 has a completely different problem. Stage 3 is actually dangerous in a way that stage 2 isn't. Because in stage 3, you're good. Genuinely good. Your work is solid. People are responding to it. You're getting comfortable in Blender. You know the shortcuts. The workflow feels natural. You can sit down and actually build things. And that's exactly when a lot of people plateau. Not because they stop working, but because they stop being challenged. Comfort is the enemy of growth at every skill level. But in stage 3, it's especially subtle because everything looks fine from the outside. You're still making things. You're still posting. You still feel like you're in it. But there's a specific sign that tells you you've hit the stage 3 plateau. And it shows up in your work in a way that's easy to miss if you're not looking for it. The sign is this. Your last 10 pieces of work all look like your first 10 pieces of work. Same style, same complexity, same types of mistakes, same comfort zone, executed slightly more cleanly each time. That's plateau. And the fix isn't to work harder. It's to deliberately seek discomfort again. Here's what that looks like practically. Do one thing per month that you don't know how to do yet. Not a whole project you can't finish. One specific technique, one workflow, one type of asset that's outside your current range. Character work if you've only done environments. Simulations if you've only done hard surface. Stylized if you've always done realism. You're not abandoning your niche. You're expanding the toolkit that feeds it. Get your work in front of people who will give you honest feedback. Not just likes. Not just this is amazing. Real feedback. ArtStation community reviews. Blender Discord critique channels. A mentor if you can find one. Comfort kills growth, and honest feedback is the fastest antidote to comfort. Change your inputs. If your Blender practice has gotten stale, look at what you're consuming. Are you still watching the same type of tutorial? Following the same creators? The work you make is downstream of the work you study. Deliberately expose yourself to 3D art that's better than yours, weirder than yours, from disciplines you don't usually follow. Architecture, industrial design, illustration, fashion. The best game artists I know are constantly studying things that have nothing to do with games. And here's the bigger picture thing I want to say about long-term motivation, the thing that sits underneath all of this. The artists who stay in it longest are the ones who make the work personal. Not every project, not even most projects, but somewhere in your practice, there needs to be work that you care about independent of whether anyone else responds to it. A world you're building, a character only you understand, a visual obsession you're chasing. Because the external stuff, the views, the comments, the followers, the job, it will fluctuate. It will have bad weeks. If your only fuel is external, you'll run dry. The internal fuel, the genuine curiosity, the thing you're actually trying to figure out, that doesn't dry up the same way. That's what carries you through the stages. So, motivation isn't the goal. Structure is. Finishing things is. Honest feedback is. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, work that actually means something to you. But here's the question a lot of you are probably sitting with right now. Okay, I understand the stages. I understand what I need to do. But I'm also trying to point this towards something real. Toward income. Toward a career. And I don't know how to balance the long learning curve of actually getting good with the pressure of needing this to go somewhere. That tension between learning patiently and building towards something is real. And it's something I dig into directly in the next video on this channel, where I talk about how to start positioning yourself for income even while you're still in the middle of learning. Because those two things don't have to be sequential. You don't have to be done learning before you start earning. That video is coming soon. And if you're not subscribed, you'll miss it. Hit subscribe. Turn on the bell. This channel exists for people who are serious about building a real future in 3D. Not just dabbling, but actually getting somewhere. And drop a comment below. Tell me which stage you're in right now. Honeymoon, the grind, or the plateau. Or tell me what's actually kept you going. Because honestly, those answers help me understand what to make next. I'll see you in the next one.